Monday Night Raw was in Albany, New York tonight, and I believe this is the first time we've been back in the Big Apple since WrestleMania, so it's been about 6 weeks. And we have a recap of Money in the Bank. We have Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar coming out. I'm just dreading this. How many running Raws have I seen over the past 5-6 years? It started off with the long Lesnar and Heyman promo, with Heyman talking about Brock, and Brock just jumps around in the ring. Seen this 2 million times, about 1 billion times, and then he talks about which championship he's going to choose. And you have Rollins come out, and then you have Kofi Kingston come out, and there's a stare down, and then Heyman is saying which one of he's teasing which one he's going to choose, and he says that the contract's not going in there tonight. And he says the beast is yet to come. So they're basically teasing it for later. I think the most likely scenario is it's not Kofi at all. I think it's going to be Seth. I think it's going to be Brock and Seth in a rematch in Saudi Arabia. Who wins? It can go either way. I think it's a 50-50 match. I did hear a report that WWE does not want to have the Money in the Bank contract holder lose again because the last two men have lost. I think the last two men were Corbin, who lost 2 years ago, and Strowman last year, who also lost. So they're in a situation where they want to make it more valuable. They don't want to beat the Money in the Bank contract holder. But then again, they just had Rollins, they crowned Rollins. They had him squash Lesnar at WrestleMania. I don't know if they want to beat him right away after 2 months and have him drop the title right back to Lesnar. I think it's an interesting match where they go, but I think it's going to be Rollins who gets the match with Lesnar. They show a vehicle coming in, and they show a whole bunch of wrestlers waiting for Mick Foley. Comes out of the vehicle, and they're trying to look at the new belt. And I think it's either going to be a Legends belt or some sort of version of the Hardcore title. I prefer a Hardcore title. I don't want to see a Legends title at all. I hope it's not like Undertaker and Goldberg for a Legends belt. They show Sami Zayn complaining. No one cares. Braun Strowman comes out, and he's going to go after Sami. So they show Rollins and Kingston backstage. You have Sami Zayn against Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman chased him for a while. They chased him all throughout the crowd. They chased him in the back. He took him backstage, and then he carried him back to the ring, and Strowman finishes Sami Zayn off with the running power slam. So Strowman with the victory here. I think Sami is done. For us being a top guy, I don't think they're going to really do much. So they show Alexa Bliss, and she's in the back, and she says she's going to be talking to Becky Lynch on Moment of Bliss. And I'm sure, the two of them have gone back and forth like crazy on Twitter. Becky's hurt her feelings. Alexa whines like a little girl. Becky goes after her pretty hard, but she does that to everyone. But I think Alexa Bliss is someone who's extremely sensitive, and maybe she just can't handle it. But, Becky just rips her apart on Twitter. It's almost like... I don't know, maybe it's because it's Alexa Bliss and she's just so cute and she's so tiny. It's hard, it makes Becky look like a bully, but you can tell it really bothers her. And we see Sullivan in the back. Charlie Caruso's trying to interview him. He's just, he's going to destroy everyone. He's pissed off. 3 Lucha House Party. I want to mention this. Kalisto's tweeted something about busting open Lars Sullivan on the pay-per-view, elbowing him. If he did, I would pay money to see Kalisto try to do it to Lars Sullivan, and Sullivan knows it's coming. Got like a house show where there's no cameras on. I wouldn't mind watching Lars Sullivan just snap Kalisto like a twig. Kalisto is shit. He's a bum. I've always wanted to buy a fan a beer who threw the water bottle at Kalisto's face a couple years ago and split his lip open. I needed to buy that fan a beer. You're a hero, man. That was just awesome. I love it. I don't condone violence. I'm not saying that, but my God, I laugh my ass off. Kalisto sucks. I hate him. I can't stand him. So they're taking, they're recapping AJ and Rollins. There's just so many video package, man. It's just too much. It's the show what happened to Ricochet last night. Just stop with the video packages. You have Ricochet and Cesaro. So Ricochet is beaten up. He took that huge bump from McIntyre last night. Cesaro wins. It is what it is. You had Charlie Caruso interviewing AJ Styles. He cuts a decent promo. He is in charge of Baron Corbin, and I hope this is not what AJ has to do next. Shoot with this bomb. Roman Reigns makes his way to the ring. he talks, is interrupted by Shane McMahon, and Shane is whips into him, and Roman says he hates spoiled rich kids. And what happens is Roman can't be out for the match, and then you have Drew McIntyre comes out, and he says it's gonna be a Miz and Drew McIntyre later in the night. And what happens is Shane was Shane and Roman. I guess they make a match official for Super Showdown. It's Roman Reigns and Shane McMahon. So they show Becky with her Raw Women's title, and she's going to be on Alexa Bliss's Moment of Bliss tonight. They show Brock and Heyman in the back, and Brock's doing this thing where he listens to the briefcase. It's actually kind of funny. Shane and Drew backstage. I don't care about the Revival. They've ruined them. Usos against the Revival. The Revival win is a surprising win. They get a cheap win. It was what it was. I don't know what they're going to do with them. It's like these guys are gone. Everyone knows they're extremely unhappy. They're going to be gone from the company in a year. Maybe not even a year, maybe like 9-10 months now. I think their contracts are up in March of 2020. That is what it is. They're very unhappy. I doubt they come back. I don't think WWE's going to make a play to keep them. I think they're done. But WWE logic strikes again. You just had the Usos defeat the SmackDown Tag Champs, and now they lose to the Revival, who've been booked like a complete joke on Raw. It just makes no sense. Nothing they do makes any sense. This company's just so bad. They show Alexa Bliss getting ready, and Nikki Cross up. So I guess Nikki's going to be Alexa's lackey now. That's what they want to do with her. It's fine. I mean, I suppose this is something for Alexa to do when because she's injured. But I guess having Nikki as just someone who is her muscle, it's something for both of them. Yeah, I don't think Alexa. I think her career isn't over, but it's clearly in jeopardy. She's denying it on Twitter. I don't want to see her retire, but she should consider it. I don't want to see anyone with this kind of concussions. It especially sucks to see someone like her who's so young and so attractive, so gorgeous. You don't want to see someone like her in her 40s suffering from CTE or some sort of concussion trauma. It's not anything, There's a role for her in the company. She probably won't make as much as she is wrestling, but it's something she needs to consider, I think, probably. So, they show something with the Firefly Funhouse of Ford, a Moment of Bliss. When we get back, Alexa is out. She didn't want to risk losing her luggage again. And she has 2 cups of coffee out when Becky Lynch comes out. And I did think Becky didn't get as big of a pop as you probably want. And she asks her how it's not like to be Becky 2 belts anymore. And Nikki Cross is there the whole time. And then what happens is the Iconics come on. The Iconics are horrible. And they're making fun of Becky. The Iconics are fucking terrible. She tells them to shut up. And Lacey Evans comes out. And she cut the promo. And Becky goes after Lacey. She says she got tapped out. It's just not a good promo. I don't know. Something's not good. I watched the Becky promo documentary, on the WWE Network, the 24. It was absolutely amazing. I loved it. It was a great documentary. It was really, really good. I'm going to review it. I'll probably have it up by Wednesday. But here, I said, her character peaked. It really did. So Becky says she will do, and Alexa says she didn't agree to that. Becky says Alexa just needs to stand her look pretty because she will do all the work. So Becky basically teams with Alexa and Nikki Cross against the other 3. I don't know if Alexa's a face now, but Alexa has her coffee. She can't wrestle. Alexa does nothing here, really. She is... what happens is Becky and Nikki do the work. So, her injury might not be too big because if you're really bad, they don't even let you go out there. So, she's at least being allowed to be out there. So, Mick Foley makes his way out to the ring. He introduces the 24/7. It's going to be the hardcore title. It's pretty cool. They can't call it the hardcore title because it's not a PG enough name, but he basically just cuts the promo. It's the 24/7 championship. and whoever gets he leaves the title in the ring, and whoever gets to touch the title, it's not pinning anyone. You have to grab it, you win, and Titus gets, or a whole bunch of guys are fighting, 1,000,000 guys, and Titus gets pinned by Robert Roode on the stage, and Roode goes to the back. So this is the hardcore title. I don't know if we're going to get like that fun house or an amusement park they were in last time. Some of that stuff was the best. When they were fighting in that hall, the balls and all that stuff, like that was some of my favorite memories as a kid watching Attitude. Man, I love the Attitude Era. The stuff with Crash Holly, everyone's trying to chase him, and someone tried to pin him while he slept. I loved that stuff. I hope we can do that again. It'll make the show entertaining if they let them do stuff like that. So we go from that, which is entertaining, to Miz and Drew. Who cares? Drew wins. Shane costs a match. Shane gets on the mic, and Roman comes out. Boring. No one cares. That's a lot of boring stuff. A lot of stuff with Charlie Caruso's shows all over the show. Samoa Joe cuts a promo. Don't care about anything. And in the end, we see our Robert Roode. He's running away from everybody, and R-Truth has a car. R-Truth puts him in his trunk, and R-Truth tricks him, and he has the referee in the car, and R-Truth attacks him. R-Truth runs away, pins Roode, wins the 24/7. He leaves in his car. So that's it. Main events: Kingston and Rollins against Corbin and Lashley. Record low main event, most likely. Rollins and Kingston win. Kingston gets a win. They're giving Kofi a big push. It happens. Kofi and Seth celebrate, and Lesnar and Heyman come out, and Heyman says Lesnar will choose his opponent next week. So with that, a very forgettable edition of Raw. I don't really watch Raw that much. Just recap. I'll just read some stuff that's going on. I do the podcast because I enjoy it, but the actual show, Raw and Smack, are just boring. The pay-per-views are not too bad. NXTs are amazing. I'm looking forward to AEW this Saturday. I will review it, but doing stuff like the 24, like the Becky documentary, those stuff are all good. The Dark Side of the Ring stuff, there's so many good stuff I like reviewing. It's just Raw. Even SmackDown's okay most of the weeks. Just Raw is just dreadful.